Hello friends, hi, this is Alok Ojha. Welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. So as you can see on the board, our today's topic of discussion is First and Second Anglo-Sikh War. In the previous session, as a series of different wars, we have covered different wars such as Anglo-Carnatic Wars, Anglo-Mysore War, Anglo-Maratha War, Battle of Plassey, Third Battle of Panipat, Battle of Buxar, and the background of Anglo-Sikh War. In today's short session, we are going to discuss majorly about the First and Second Anglo-Sikh War. After First Anglo-Sikh War, we are going to throw light on what is Lahore Treaty all about. After the Treaty of Lahore, what is the Treaty of Bhairoval? Was it the laws of sovereignty for the Sikh Empire? So in today's short session, we are going to throw light on all these important aspects. Like the previous session, in today's class as well, we are going to understand the things in a gradual step-by-step manner for easier understanding of the concept. And we'll try to understand everything in the format of a story. So my friends, without wasting any more time, let's begin our today's short session on the First and Second Anglo-Sikh War. Tomorrow's session, we are going to cover the Anglo-Afghan Wars. And after that, we'll be trying to start with either world history or post-independence India. Okay, friends? Now, we have already spoken about this, that how Maharaja Ranjit Singh ji, he had come to power. And precisely speaking, in 1809, there was a treaty that was signed which was referred as Treaty of Amritsar. And the Treaty of Amritsar was directly related to the Treaty of Tilsit. Now, what was the Treaty of Tilsit all about? Alexander I of Russia and Napoleon of France had made a combined alliance against the English East India Company. And they had decided that the combined army of Russia and France are going to attack the territories of English East India Company precisely in India. And for that purpose, English East India Company activated its security cell policy or ring fence policy. As a part of this policy, at that time the Governor General was Lord Minto I. And Lord Minto I had sent Sir Charles Metcalfe to negotiate with Maharaja Ranjit Singh. But initially, the negotiations did not reach a proper conclusion. Finally, in 1809, it is believed that the Treaty of Amritsar was signed between the English East India Company and Maharaja Ranjit Singh ji. So what was as per that treaty? As per that treaty, River Satluj acted as a boundary line between the territories of English East India Company and the Sikh Empire. To the north of River Satluj, all the territories belong to the Sikh Empire, and to the south of River Satluj, all the territories belong to English East India Company. Now, Maharaja Ranjit Singh ji, he passed away in June 1839. And after that, we had seen what happened. Like there was a continuous war of succession. And finally, in September 1843, Maharaja Dalip Singh, he sat on the throne of Sikh Empire. And he was just a minor. When he sat on the throne of Sikh Empire, he was just 4 to 5 years of age. Like he was supported by his mother, Maharani Jindal Kaur, who also acted as a regent for Maharaja Dalip Singh. Apart from this, Lal Singh was the wazir for Maharaja Dalip Singh. But if we compare the army of Maharaja Ranjit Singh ji and Maharaja Dalip Singh, the army of Maharaja Ranjit Singh ji was much more disciplined in comparison to the army of Maharaja Dalip Singh. Okay. Now, what happened further? Let's understand. Yes, Suresh ji, very good evening. Now, English East India Company, after 1830s itself, was continuously following the policy of expansionism. It was following the policy of imperialism. And in 1842, there was first Anglo-Afghan war that was fought during the tenure of a Governor General whose name was Lord Auckland. Now, why the first Anglo-Afghan war was fought, we have already seen that in the list of Governor Generals, but here I will discuss that in short. Durrani Empire, it was formed in Afghanistan, and the foundation of Durrani Empire was laid down by Ahmad Shah Abdali. And there was another contender to the throne whose name was Dost Muhammad. Okay? And Dost Muhammad, like he sat on the throne of Durrani Empire. Like it is said that there was a treaty between Russia and Persia. Please understand this. There was a treaty between Russia and Persia, which is referred as Treaty of Turkmenchai. Okay? And as per this Treaty of Turkmenchai, the long-standing war between the Russia and Iran, it got ended. And Russia probably can, make a good friendship with Afghanistan. So, if you remember, we had seen about Lord William Bentinck. Lord William Bentinck was the first Governor General of India to realize the potential Russian threat. And at that time, he had signed the treaty of Indus Navigation Treaty with Maharaja Ranjit Singh to make river Satluj navigable just to keep an eye over Russia. Okay. Now, this person, Dost Muhammad, who had become the ruler of Durrani Empire, he had an intention to capture the region of Peshawar. And Peshawar, it was initially under the control of Maharaja Ranjit Singh ji. And he had made many attempts to capture the region of Peshawar, but in all his attempts, he had to face the failure. He could not capture the region of Peshawar. So what happened? Dost Muhammad, he approached English East India Company at that time. And when Dost Muhammad approached English East India Company, the Governor General of English East India Company at that time was Lord Auckland. Now, Lord Auckland, he said to Dost Muhammad that you break the friendship with Russia and Persia. I will break the friendship with Maharaja Ranjit Singh and help you out in conquering the region of Peshawar. But to this, this proposal was not at all liked by Dost Muhammad. Dost Muhammad said that I'm not going to break any friendship with Russia and Persia. So what happened? Now it was necessary to find another contender to the throne of Afghanistan. As we have discussed, Dost Muhammad was contender to the throne when Ahmad Shah Abdali was a ruler. True? Now there might be some person who wanted to or who aspired to become the ruler of Afghanistan by overthrowing Dost Muhammad. And English East India Company's task was to find such person. And English East India Company got that person in the form of Shah Shuja. And Shah Shuja can work as a puppet for English East India Company. So now a tripartite alliance was made between Shah Shuja, English East India Company and Maharaja Ranjit Singh against Dost Muhammad. And this culminated into First Anglo-Afghan War. And it is believed that as a part of First Anglo-Afghan War, Dost Muhammad was defeated. Shah Shuja was installed as the ruler of Durrani Empire in Afghanistan, but he was just a puppet ruler. Apart from this, Dost Muhammad was imprisoned in Calcutta. And when Dost Muhammad was imprisoned in Calcutta, there was outbreak of civil revolt in the region of in the region of Afghanistan. So what happened further? It is said that this person, Dost Muhammad, was released. Many English officers lost their lives, such as Alexander Burnes, Charles Burnes, Elphiston. So this was nothing but First Anglo-Afghan War. Then English East India Company had also conquered the region of Sindh in 1843. Okay. Yes, Nayonika ji, very good evening. Now, what was the annexation of Sindh all about? Now, Sindh was always loyal towards English East India Company. Always loyal. And right from the start itself, English East India Company had signed a treaty of mutual friendship with the Amirs or the Baluchis of the Sindh. Okay. And the Baluchis or Amirs of the Sindh, they were so loyal towards English East India Company that they did not allow any other European power to build their ports around the region of Sindh. Why? Because they were very much loyal towards English East India Company. Now, there was one Governor General whose name was Lord Ellenborough. Okay. Now, it was a time during the tenure of Ellenborough, again the treaty needs to be renewed. But there was a British commanding officer whose name was Sir Charles Napier. Sir Charles Napier suggested Ellenborough, till when are we going to renew the treaty of mutual friendship with Sindh? Why don't we capture the region of Sindh once and for an all, and finally we destroy the threat of the Sindh here? But Lord Ellenborough was like, we will cite what reason for conquering the Sindh? Because Sindh has never breached the treaty of mutual friendship. So Sir Charles Napier said, you do not worry about this. 3,000 forces or 3,000 soldiers of English East India Company defeated 12,000 Baluchis in Battle of Dobol and Battle of Miani. And Sindh was annexed during the tenure of Lord Ellenborough. In fact, it was heavily criticized, heavily criticized. Okay. So what happened further? Let's understand. Like it is said that like Sindh was being asked, like, why did you, like, specifically, Ellenborough was questioned that why did you capture the region of Sindh? So he gave the answer, I have captured the region of Sindh because Sindh had supported Dost Muhammad in the first Anglo-Afghan war. In fact, the actual intention was to, yes, they were following the policy of expansionism. They were following the policy of imperialism. Now, after Lord Ellenborough comes to power Lord Hardinge. Okay? Specifically, comes to power Lord Hardinge. Now, what happens further? Let's understand. Now, as we had discussed, as per Treaty of Amritsar, River Satluj acted as a boundary line between the territories of English East India Company and Maharaja Ranjit Singh or Sikh Empire. To the north of River Satluj, all the territories belonged to the Sikh Empire. And to the south of River Satluj, all the territories belonged to English East India Company. Now, when Lord Hardinge, he became the Governor General, he observed that the Sikh Empire had started the fortification effort on the banks of River Satluj. Okay? So, what did Lord Hardinge do? Lord Hardinge dispatched few of his forces along the banks of River Satluj. And the Sikh Empire or the Sikh forces crossed the River Satluj and started attacking on the territories of English East India Company to the south of River Satluj. And this was seen as the breach of the Treaty of Amritsar by Lord Hardinge. Lord Hardinge immediately dispatched his additional forces, and this culminated into First Anglo-Sikh War. Hope so the points are clear. I'll repeat the points again. Please pay attention carefully. Precisely speaking, as per Treaty of Amritsar, River Satluj acted as a boundary line between the territories of English East India Company and Maharaja Ranjit Singh. To the north of River Satluj, all the territories belongs to whom? To the north of River Satluj, all the territory belonged to the Sikh Empire. To the south, all the territories belonged to English East India Company. Lord Hardinge observed that the Sikh forces had started the fortification efforts on the bank of River Satluj. So to check that, he dispatched few of his forces. And meanwhile, the forces of the Sikh Empire crossed the River Satluj and started moving towards the south of River Satluj and started attacking or raiding the territories of English East India Company. And this was considered as a breach of the Treaty of Amritsar by Lord Hardinge, and this culminated into First Anglo-Sikh War. The First Anglo-Sikh War started approximately around December 1845 and ended in March 1846. Like it is said that 20,000 forces of the British Empire or the English East India Company defeated 50,000 Sikh forces. Okay. As I have told you, the army of Maharaja Dalip Singh was not that disciplined in comparison to the army of Maharaja Ranjit Singh ji. And finally, it is said that the First Anglo-Sikh War was in the favor of English East India Company. And the First Anglo-Sikh War ended with two important treaties. So please understand the Lahore Treaty and Treaty of Bhairovale, because both these treaties are very important from the exam perspective. So the First Anglo-Sikh War, it initially ended with the Treaty of Lahore, which was signed in March 1846. Now, what is the Treaty of Lahore all about? Let's understand. English East India Company said that we recognize Maharaja Dalip Singh as the ruler of the Sikh Empire. We recognize Maharani Jindal Kaur or Maharani Jind Kaur as the regent or Raj Pratinidhi to Maharaja Dalip Singh. We recognize Lal Singh as the Wazir. Apart from this, the Sikh Empire cannot increase their cavalrymen beyond 20,000. Okay? If you remember the series of Anglo-Maratha War, this kind of a treaty was signed by the Britishers with the Peshwas itself. Correct? The Treaty of Bassein, if you remember. So it was nothing but it is like a loss of sovereignty. Correct? So it is said that Maharaja Dalip Singh, he was recognized as the ruler of the Sikh Empire. Maharani Jindal Kaur, his mother was recognized as the regent or Raj Pratinidhi. Finally, Lal Singh was recognized as Wazir. The Sikh Empire cannot increase their cavalrymen beyond 20,000. Apart from this, you have to pay a war indemnity. Like English East India Company said to the Sikh Empire, we have suffered a lot of losses during the war. So you have to pay the compensation for that war. You have to pay a war indemnity. and a war indemnity of 1.5 crore rupees was imposed on the Sikh Empire. Now, Maharani Jindal Kaur said that presently we are not in a situation to pay you 1.5 crore rupees. Correct? Same thing, if you remember, it was imposed on Tipu Sultan. Do you remember about Third Anglo-Mysore War? At the end of Third Anglo-Mysore War, it is said that 3 crore rupees war compensation was imposed on Tipu Sultan. And in fact, Tipu Sultan also said, I don't have that much amount of money right now. I can pay only half the amount of money right now. So Tipu Sultan had paid 1.5 crore rupees. And when Tipu Sultan had paid 1.5 crore rupees, what did Lord Cornwallis do? Lord Cornwallis kept 2 of the sons of Tipu Sultan as hostages. Later on, he paid 1.5 crore rupees and got the release of his 2 sons. Correct? Similarly, here as well, a war indemnity or a war compensation of 1.5 crore rupees was imposed on the Sikh Empire. Maharani Jindal Kaur said, right now I don't have that much amount of money. So I can only pay you 1 crore rupees as a war compensation. So English East India Company said, no issues with that. You just pay war compensation of 1 crore rupees to us, but we will also take away the region of Kashmir from the Sikh Empire. And as per many historians, the region of Kashmir was taken away from the Sikh Empire and sold to Maharaja Gulab Singh for 75 lakh rupees by the English East India Company. So English East India Company also took 1 crore rupees from the Sikh Empire as a war indemnity or as a war compensation. And apart from this, they also conquered the region of Kashmir, or they also took over the region of Kashmir from the Sikh Empire and sold that to Maharaja Gulab Singh for 75 lakh rupees. Okay. So this is nothing but the Treaty of Lahore. One more important clause. And what was that? A British resident would be there who would be staying in the court of Sikh Empire. Correct? Now, precisely speaking, Major Henry Lawrence was chosen as the British resident. Now, what is the purpose of the British resident? The major purpose of the British resident is to collect the information within the court and provide that information to English East India Company that what is happening within the court. Isn't that so? We have seen that in the Battle of Plassey. We have seen that in the Battle of Buxar. So Britishers usually adopted that strategy. True? So a British resident was kept in the court of the Sikh Empire. Now, after some time, the Sikh chief realized that this Treaty of Lahore is a kind of humiliation for the Sikh. Like, okay, suppose like, although we have crossed the river Satluj, we have started raiding the territories of English East India Company initially. Lahore Treaty was signed. We have also paid a war indemnity or a war compensation of 1 crore rupees. But this is a humiliation for the Sikh Empire, wherein English East India Company had taken away the region of Kashmir from Sikh Empire and sold the region of Kashmir to Maharaja Gulab Singh for 75 lakh rupees. So there were certain Sikh chiefs who, under the leadership of Maharani Jindal Kaur, again rebelled against the English East India Company. Okay, so they rebelled against, just hold on. So they again rebelled against English East India Company under the leadership of Maharani Jindal Kaur. And when they rebelled against the English East India Company, they crushed the rebellion of the Sikh chief. Okay, and in December 1846, another important treaty was signed, which was referred as Treaty of Bhairovwal. Okay, I repeat, after the First Anglo Sikh War, the Treaty of Lahore was signed in March 1846. As per the Treaty of Lahore, a war compensation of 1.5 crore rupees was imposed on the Sikh Empire. And initially, the Sikh Empire, Maharani Jindal Kaur, paid 1 crore rupees to English East India Company. Since they were not able to pay the entire amount, English East India Company took the region of Kashmir from them and sold that to Maharaja Gulab Singh for 75 lakh rupees. Now, this was seen as a humiliation by many Sikh Sardars or many Sikh chiefs. And under the leadership of Maharani Jindal Kaur, they again rebelled. They again revolted against the English East India Company. And English East India Company crushed the revolt again. And finally, in December 1846, another treaty was signed, which is referred as Treaty of Bhairovwal. Okay. So now, as per this treaty, English East India Company believed that Maharani Jindal Kaur was the reason for instigation of the rebellion of the Sikh. So now Maharani Jindal Kaur, who acted as a regent for her son, Maharaja Dalip Singh, she was removed from the post of regent and she was sent to Banaras as a pensioner. Now Maharani Jindal Kaur will be getting a pension and no longer she is the regent. So Maharaja Dalip Singh, he was just a minor. So who is going to assist Maharaja Dalip Singh? So to assist Maharaja Dalip Singh, a regency council was created. Okay. And the regency council was headed by Major Henry Lawrence. So specifically the regency council is now going to act as a regent for Maharaja Dalip Singh. Why? Because Maharani Jindal Kaur has been sent as a pensioner to Banaras. Clear? Now Regency Council consisted of 8 Sikh chiefs who are going to assist specifically Major Henry Lawrence in performance of his duties. Like the 8 Sikh chiefs included Tej Singh, who was a general of the Maharaja Dalip Singh's army. Then Sardar Sher Singh Atariwala, Diwan Dinanath, Fakir Nuruddin, Sardar Ranjot Singh Majithia, Bhai Nidhan Singh, Sardar Atar Singh and Sardar Sham Singh Sandwalia. So these are the members of Regency Council who are going to assist Major Henry Lawrence in performance of his duty. Is that clear? So this was nothing but the First Anglo-Sikh War, followed by the Treaty of Lahore and the Treaty of Bhairoval. Hope so the points are clear to all of you, my friends. Yes, Mahi ji, very good evening. Thank you. So this is all about the Lahore Treaty and the Treaty of Bhairoval. Now we need to understand the important aspects related to the Second Anglo-Sikh War. Okay. Now what happened or what were the major reasons for Second Anglo-Sikh War? Now pay attention carefully. So within next 10 minutes, we are going to understand about the Second Anglo-Sikh War and we'll end today's session. My friends, we have studied about the important Governor Generals. And in that, we had studied one of the most important Governor Generals whose name was Dalhousie. Correct? As soon as the name Dalhousie comes, the first thing that strikes our mind is a passenger railway, then doctrine of lap system and so on. My friends, Dalhousie, his original name was James Andrew Ramsay and he was considered as the youngest Governor General. He became the Governor General at the very young age of 36. So, precisely speaking, Dalhousie is known for many other aspects. Like Dalhousie is known for, like he started the non-regulation system. He started the guarantee system for development of railways in India. The first passenger railway came during the time of Dalhousie. Okay, the first passenger railway, it was from Boribandar to Thane, which covered an approximate distance of 33 to 34 kilometers. True. Apart from this, it had 3 locomotives and 14 carriages with a carrying capacity of 400 passengers. Then, during the time of Dalhousie, Public Works Department was started. Telegraph line from Calcutta to Agra was started. Gurkha Regiment came into force during the time of Lord Dalhousie. The first Education Commission, that is Wood's Dispatch, came during the time of Lord Dalhousie. Shimla was made as the summer capital of India during the time of Dalhousie. So there are many events related to the tenure of Dalhousie. There are 2 core events related to the tenure of Dalhousie. One was the annexation of Lower Burma as well. Like it is said that the upper part of Burma was captured during the tenure of Lord Amherst as a part of First Anglo-Burma War. And the lower part of Burma was captured during the tenure of Lord Dalhousie. And second most important aspect, the Anglo-Sikh War or the Second Anglo-Sikh War and annexation of Punjab, it took place during the time of Lord Dalhousie. Now, what were the major reasons for Second Anglo-Sikh War? Let's throw light upon them. Clear? Now, precisely speaking, Second Anglo-Sikh War began from a person whose name was Diwan Moolraj. Okay. As I have told you now, Maharaja Dalip Singh, he was recognized as the ruler of the Sikh Empire. there was a Regency Council to assist Maharaja Dalip Singh, and the Regency Council was headed by Major Henry Lawrence. And there were 8 other Sikh chiefs to assist the Major Henry Lawrence. And apart from this, Lal Singh was there as a Wazir. Now what happened? The Regency Council took a decision now that the taxes will now be increased. Okay? The taxes now will be increased. And apart from this, the Regency Council observed one thing, that there was a governor of Multan whose name was Diwan Mool Raj. He has not paid the arrears for past 2 to 3 years. Okay? He has not paid the arrears for past 2 to 3 years. So what happened? Immediately Regency Council informed Diwan Mool Raj that you have to pay the arrears of past 2 to 3 years, plus the taxes from now onwards have been increased. So you have to pay the additional revenue as well. And at that time, it is said that Diwan Mool Raj, he had garnered the support of the people of Multan. And after the Treaty of Lahore and Treaty of Bhairoval, the people of Multan had seen Diwan Mool Raj as a panacea to all their problems. So Diwan Mool Raj, who was the governor of Multan of the Sikh Empire, it is said that he denied Britishers that I am not going to pay a single penny as an arrear. Apart from this, I am not going to pay an additional increased taxes to you. So this was an open challenge given by Diwan Mool Raj to English East India Company. So here English East India Company thought that it is necessary to replace Diwan Mool Raj as a governor of Multan. Okay. So a new governor for Multan was chosen. And when the new governor for Multan was chosen, it is said that, obviously, as I have told you, that Diwan Mool Raj, he has garnered the support of the people of Multan. Correct? And in that case, when the new governor would be dispatched directly, probably the new governor would be overthrown by Diwan Mool Raj and his supporters. So, new governor was sent to Multan along with 2 European officers, along with 2 English officers. One was Lieutenant Patrick and the second was the Lieutenant Anderson. So I'll name them Lieutenant Patrick Agnew and second was Lieutenant Anderson. So the new governor, he was dispatched along with Lieutenant Patrick and Lieutenant Anderson. And as soon as they entered into Punjab, it is believed that Diwan Mool Raj got both of them arrested and imprisoned. So Lieutenant Patrick and Lieutenant Anderson both were imprisoned. And after some time, both of them were being killed by Diwan Mool Raj. And now at this particular point of time, Lord Dalhousie was the Governor General. And Lord Dalhousie comes to know about this. And immediately, Lord Dalhousie decided that he is going to wipe out the threat of the specifically Diwan Mool Raj once and for an all. And now he decided to conquer the region of Punjab, to annex the region of Punjab, and this culminated into Second Anglo-Sikh War. And as a part of Second Anglo-Sikh War, 2 important battles were fought. Battle of Chilianwala and Battle of Ramnagar. And in both these battles, the Sikh Empire had to face a humiliating defeat. And finally, Punjab was annexed during the tenure of Lord Dalhousie, approximately around 1848-1849. So this was nothing but Second Anglo-Sikh War. Now when Punjab was annexed, what happened? A 3-member board was created to govern Punjab. Is that clear? So a 3-member board was now created to take care of the region of Punjab. And the 3-member board consisted of Sir Henry Lawrence, his brother John Lawrence, and another person, Charles Granville Mansell. Now from 1848 or 1849, the 3-member board will now take care of the administration of the entire region of Punjab. Okay. So who were the 3 members of the board? It was Major Henry Lawrence, his brother Sir John Lawrence, and Charles Granville Mansell. But in 1853, the 3-member board was abolished, and Punjab, like it is said that Chief Commissioner was appointed for Punjab, and the first Chief Commissioner of Punjab was John Lawrence. So this is all about the Second Anglo-Sikh War. Hope so, my friends, the First and the Second Anglo-Sikh War is clear to all of you. Okay. Tomorrow's session, we are going to throw light on Anglo-Afghan Wars and we will end the war session. The aspirants, those who are new to the platform, let me tell you one important thing. Already I have covered ancient Indian history, medieval Indian history and modern Indian history in quite depth and detail as a part of YouTube. So you can go through the series of ancient, medieval and modern Indian history, and probably within the next week, we'll be coming up with a new series for the aspirants. And also I'll be coming up with few strategy videos wherein how to initiate the preparation for 2027. There are many aspirants, those who are aspiring for 2027 and 2028 as well. So in the coming videos, I'll be explaining in quite depth and detail with a micro listing of topics for ancient, medieval and modern Indian history. Is that clear, my friends? So, my friends, StudyIQ IAS has come up with GS Foundation P2I batches for 2027 and 2028. Now, the batches are completely based on SMART model. What is SMART model all about? First of all, there's a complete structured classes. Initially, the students would be taught the basics. After the basics, then we'll be moving on to the foundation phase, followed by the advanced stage. Apart from this, there would be a mentor who would be guiding you throughout your journey for civil services preparation. Like many of the students face problem with making a proper timetable. Apart from this, many of the students face problem in maintaining the consistency during the preparation. So there would be a mentor who would be guiding you throughout your journey. I usually keep on saying, go for consolidation of resources rather than going for multiplication of resources. Simple words, it is better to read one book 10 times rather than reading 10 books. So here I mean to say, revision is the most important strategy that you can inculcate as a part of your preparation. And apart from this, there are proper assessment and the test. So my friends, as a part of Arambh UPSC sale, there's a complete 50% off on all the courses across StudyIQ platform precisely related to UPSC. Like for example, if you're purchasing a course for 2027 and if you use the code Alok Live that is flashing on your screen, you'll get a 50% off. Similarly, if you purchase a course for 2028 and as a part of Arambh UPSC offer, if you use the code Alok Live, again you'll be getting 50% off. Another crucial important aspect is, like as a part of StudyIQ IAS, there are complete separate batches for Hindi, English, that is Hindi plus English, and the most important one, there's a complete separate batch for English medium that will cater to the needs of the aspirants precisely from southern part of India and northeastern India. Okay. So this is all about the Arambh offer, and the offer or the sale is going to end on 18th of June. That is, the offer is going to end tomorrow. So hurry up and grab up the opportunity. So my friends, with this, I'll stop my words for the day. See you guys tomorrow with a fresh new topic, Anglo-Afghan Wars. Till then, thank you and have a very nice day. Bye-bye everyone. Jai Hind.